Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive. This time we're taking a look back at the music of 2024. Get ready to unpack a year of, I guess you could say, stadium-shaking Latin beats, record-breaking tours, and intimate performances that really brought artists and fans closer together than ever before. And you might be surprised by some of the trends we saw emerge this year, so get ready for some serious aha moments.
Yeah, 2024 was a wild ride, a year of, I'd say, some pretty seismic shifts in the music world, and I think some of these changes are really going to redefine how we all experience music in the years to come.
I think you're right about that. Okay, well, let's jump right in. First up, something that caught me totally off guard this year. Mexican music becoming the most streamed genre in the U.S. in 2024. I mean, corridos and banda topping the charts. I think that's a pretty major cultural moment.
It is a huge shift. We're really seeing evolving tastes or growing Latinx population and the power of these streaming algorithms that really can connect people with music from all over, beyond borders. Yeah, and it wasn't just a quiet takeover either. Artists like Peso Pluma, blending those traditional Mexican sounds with the modern edge, became like household names this year.
For sure. I mean, they're part of this new wave of artists that are capturing the energy of a generation while staying true to their roots. And their success is a testament to the power of cultural fusion and says a lot about the changing face of music here in America.
And while Mexican music was making waves, a certain pop queen was also on this record-shattering rampage. Taylor Swift's Eras Tour. I mean, it wasn't just a tour, it was a cultural phenomenon, right?
Yeah.
Raking in almost $1.9 billion and drawing in 10 million fans.
Those numbers are honestly just staggering. I mean, to put it in perspective, that's more than double the previous record for the highest grossing tour, which was held by Ed Sheeran.
Double. Wow. Okay, so what's really behind those numbers? I mean, is it just hype or is there something deeper going on?
Well, it's a combination of factors, really. Swift's enduring appeal across generations. Her savvy business moves the sheer spectacle of the tour itself. But I think it also speaks to something a little deeper, like a longing for connection in this increasingly digital world that we're all living in.
Yeah, so it's not just about the music, it's about that shared experience, the sense of community that comes with being a part of something bigger than yourself, right?
Exactly. Those massive crowds, they weren't just there for the music. They were there for the shared memories, the sing-alongs, the feeling of belonging to something special.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And speaking of artists who dominated 2024, Karol G sold out Spain's Santiago Bernabéu Stadium not once, but 4 times in a row.
Now that's a powerful statement for Latin music's global reach. I mean, think about it. A stadium that size, typically reserved for soccer, filled to the brim with fans celebrating Latin rhythms.
Wow, yeah, that's pretty incredible. It makes you wonder, is language even a barrier anymore?
I think it's becoming less and less so. Music has this incredible ability to transcend borders and connect people through, shared emotions and experiences.
Yeah, you're right. It really does. And Karol G embodies that global energy. But it's not just about replicating a formula. She's bringing her own style, blending reggaeton with pop trap and even rock influences.
Yeah, absolutely. Artists like Karol G are redefining what Latin music can be, expanding its reach and influence on the global stage.
And speaking of genre-bending hits, remember that infectious earworm Degenerate by Myke Towers and Benny Blanco? I mean, it was everywhere in 2024.
Oh yeah, Degenerate. It's fascinating how it captures the anxieties and desires of the post-pandemic generation,
Yeah.
It's this mix of Latin trap and pop with a melody that just burrows into your brain, and lyrics that really speak to a yearning for escape and connection.
It does. It makes you want to both dance and reflect on life's complexities. But while these massive hits were dominating the charts, something quieter and more intimate was also capturing hearts. NPR's Tiny Desk concerts.
Oh yes, the Tiny Desk concerts. They're a stripped-down format that really showcases the raw talent of artists and creates a sense of intimacy you just don't get in a big stadium show. It's like being invited into their living room for a private jam session.
I love that. And you get everything from indie folk bands to legendary rappers performing in that intimate setting. It's a nice reminder that at its core, music is about connection, vulnerability, and sharing a piece of yourself with the world.
Exactly. In a world that's just saturated with overproduced music and flashy visuals, the Tiny Desk concerts offer this refreshing dose of authenticity.
It really is refreshing. So we've got these monumental events like Taylor Swift's tour happening alongside these smaller, more intimate moments that are just as impactful. It's a beautiful tapestry of sound and emotion that truly reflects the diversity of the music world in 2024. But what does it all mean? What do these trends tell us about the future of music?
That's a great question. And in the next part of our deep dive, we're going to explore how these trends might shape the way we all experience and connect with music in the years to come. So stay tuned. Welcome back to our deep dive into the music of 2024. As promised, we're going to explore some of the intriguing trends that might just shape the future of how we experience and connect with music.
All right, so we talked about the global rise of Latin music, the power of those intimate concerts like the Tiny Desk series, and Taylor Swift's record-breaking tour, which, by the way, still has me reeling. What other musical shifts really stood out to you this year?
Well, one development that I found really fascinating was this increasing fusion of music and technology. We're living in an era where pretty much anyone with a laptop and an internet connection can create and share their music with the world.
That's true. Platforms like TikTok and YouTube have become like major launching pads for new artists. They've completely disrupted the traditional gatekeepers of the music industry.
Exactly. And it's not just about discovering new artists. It's about how technology is really fostering collaboration and innovation. Musicians are using these platforms to experiment with new sounds, collaborate with producers and other musicians from all over the world, and engage with their fans in real time.
It's like we're witnessing the birth of a whole new musical ecosystem, one that's driven by technology and fueled by the creativity of a global community of artists and fans.
And that brings us to another fascinating trend, the rise of immersive music experiences. Think virtual reality concerts, interactive music videos, and augmented reality experiences that blend music with the physical world around us.
Okay, now we're talking. So are we talking about putting on a VR headset and feeling like we're actually at a concert, even if we're miles away from the actual event?
Exactly. And it goes beyond just replicating a live concert. It's about creating entirely new ways to experience music. Imagine stepping inside a song, interacting with the music video, or even co-creating music in real time with the artist. The possibilities are pretty much endless.
That's incredible. It sounds like the line between listener and participant is blurring, and we're becoming like active collaborators in the musical experience.
And that's where things get really interesting. Because it's not just about the technology itself. It's about how technology can actually deepen our emotional connection to music. Imagine a world where music can be tailored to our own individual moods, and where we can use music to enhance our focus, our creativity, or even our well-being.
Music becoming more than just entertainment, a tool for personal growth and self-discovery. It's a fascinating concept. But are there any artists out there today who you think are already pushing these boundaries in ways that kind of hint at where things might be headed?
Oh, there are a few who come to mind. I'm particularly intrigued by artists who are really blending genres in unexpected ways. Creating soundscapes that are both familiar and completely new. Rosalia, for example, is fusing flamenco with electronic music. And FKA Twigs is creating this otherworldly blend of R&B, trip-hop, and avant-garde pop.
Yes. It's so exciting to see artists like them who aren't afraid to experiment, to take risks, and to challenge our preconceived notions of what music should sound like.
They're not just creating music, they're creating worlds. And they're inviting us to step inside and experience something truly unique.
It's like they're giving us a glimpse into the future of music, but with all these technological advancements and the rise of these new musical experiences, do you ever worry that we might lose something along the way? Like that raw human element that makes music so powerful?
Yeah, it's a valid concern. I think as technology becomes more and more integrated into our lives, it's crucial that we don't lose sight of the human element, the raw emotion, the shared connection that makes music so powerful.
I totally agree. We don't want music to become overly sanitized or manufactured. We need to preserve that authenticity, that rawness that makes music such a vital force in our lives.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to support artists who are creating from a place of genuine expression, who are using technology as a tool to enhance their art rather than letting it define their art. And I think as listeners, we need to be discerning, actively seeking out music that moves us, challenges us, and connects us on a deeper level.
Well said. And as we head into the final part of our deep dive, I hope everyone listening is thinking about the role that music plays in their own lives. What are the sounds that move you? What are the experiences that connect you to something bigger than yourself? Keep those questions in mind as we move into the final part of our exploration of music in 2024.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into the music of 2024. We've covered a lot of ground, from chart-topping hits and all those technological advancements to those emerging trends that are really reshaping the musical landscape. But before we wrap up, there's one more crucial aspect of music we need to explore. Its power to heal, to inspire change, and to transcend boundaries. It's true. It's this powerful reminder that music is so much more than just entertainment. It's this universal language that can really speak to our souls, connect us across cultures and generations, and inspire profound change.
Throughout this deep dive, we've talked about the business side of music, the evolution of genres, the technology shaping the industry. But ultimately, music's impact goes far beyond all of those things.
It does, and I think in 2024, we saw that power on full display. Think about all of the artists who use their platform to speak out against injustice, raise awareness about social issues, and advocate for positive change.
It's like music became this megaphone for activism, giving a voice to the voiceless and inspiring people to come together and fight for what they believe in.
And it wasn't just the big-name artists making these statements either.
Yeah.
We saw grassroots movements, community initiatives, and individuals using music to heal, connect, and build these bridges of understanding.
It really makes you realize how music can be a force for good in the world.
Exactly. There were so many inspiring stories in 2024. Organizations using music therapy to help people cope with trauma, communities coming together through music in times of crisis. People finding solace and hope in the power of these shared melodies.
Yeah, it's in those moments when music transcends language, culture, and even personal beliefs. That's when you truly see its transformative power.
It reminds us that we're all connected,
Yeah.
that we share the same basic human needs and desires, and that music can be a powerful force for healing and unity.
It's a beautiful thought.
Music can be both deeply personal and universally relatable, a source of comfort and a catalyst for change. It all depends on how we choose to experience it, how we allow it to move us, and how we use it to connect with ourselves and with the world around us.
Well, as we wrap up this deep dive into the music of 2024, I want to leave you with this thought. What will your own musical journey look like in the years to come? What sounds will you seek out? What experiences will you create? And how will you use the power of music to shape your own life and the world around you? We hope this deep dive has given you a fresh perspective on the music of 2024, not just as a collection of songs and artists, but as a reflection of our shared humanity, our hopes, our struggles, and our endless capacity for creativity and connection. Keep listening, keep exploring, and keep letting the music move you.